Hello, you're watching movie snapshot scenes, and this is the summary of Goodfellas. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Henry Hill always wanted to be a gangster. He wasn't drawn to law or school or ordinary dreams. No, from the time he was a kid growing up in Brooklyn, the sharp suits, shiny Cadillacs, and respect that came with the mob lifestyle pulled him in like gravity. From his bedroom window, he watched the wise guys of the neighborhood with fascination. They didn't wait in line. They didn't answer to anyone. They were royalty in the streets. And Henry, half Irish and half Sicilian, wanted a piece of it all. By the age of 13, he gets his chance. He starts running errands for Paulie Cicero, the quiet but powerful capo of the neighborhood. Paulie doesn't talk much. He doesn't even use phones, but his influence stretches everywhere. With Paulie's blessing, Henry begins to taste the life, parking Cadillacs, delivering packages, making a little money, more than his hard-working father ever did. He wears sharp clothes to school. He skips class. And when the school complains, the mob takes care of it. Henry learns fast. Respect, power, protection. It all comes from being part of something bigger than the law. Soon, he stops being a kid watching from the sidelines. He becomes part of the crew. That's when he meets Tommy DeVito, wild, funny, unpredictable, and Jimmy Conway, smooth, smart, and always ready with a bundle of stolen cash. Jimmy, an Irish gangster who can never become a made man, still runs jobs with style and generosity. He tips everyone. He laughs big. He kills without hesitation. Together, they become a crew, and Henry, still barely out of high school, is living the dream. Money in his pocket, girls on his arm, the world at his feet. No rules, no bosses, just loyalty and the understanding that you never rat on your friends and you always keep your mouth shut. To Henry, it's not crime, it's family, it's freedom, it's everything he ever wanted. But in the mob, nothing stays good forever, and the higher you rise, the harder you fall. By his early 20s, Henry Hill is living like a king. He's no longer just a kid running errands. He's a respected wise guy, and everyone in the neighborhood knows his name. He skips the lines, slips the doorman cash, and never has to wait for anything. Henry is in the center of a world built on favors, fast money, and fear. With Jimmy Conway and Tommy DeVito at his side, he starts pulling off bigger scores, truck hijackings, loan sharking, gambling, protection rackets. They move fast, hit hard, and always get paid. Jimmy has a system. He's calm, calculating, and always looking for the next big job. He rewards loyalty, but he's never afraid to get blood on his hands. Tommy, on the other hand, is explosive. 1 second, he's cracking jokes. The next, he's smashing bottles and pulling out a gun. Everyone's afraid of Tommy, and that suits him just fine. For Henry, the life is intoxicating. He walks into the Copacabana through the back door and gets a front row table. He showers his friends with drinks and tips the staff hundreds like it's pocket change. Waiters, cops, and judges treat him like royalty. He meets Karen, a spirited Jewish girl from Long Island. At first, she doesn't understand his world, but soon, she's pulled into it, seduced by the glamour, the danger, the idea of being married to a man who answers to no one. They marry. And now Henry has it all. A beautiful wife, a closet full of suits, cash hidden in walls, and a seat at the table with Paulie, the man who still runs the neighborhood with quiet power. But with the success comes the pressure. There are rules to follow, territories to respect, lines not to cross, and Henry, despite his charm and loyalty, begins to stretch the limits. He starts dealing drugs on the side, something Paulie has strictly forbidden. The money is too good, too fast, and Henry, used to having everything, doesn't know how to stop. The high life is no longer just about respect, it's about greed, and greed always leaves a trail. The money keeps flowing, but the tension starts to rise. Tommy DeVito, once just wild and loud, is now becoming truly dangerous. He's unpredictable, drunk on power and rage. In a single moment, he can flip from laughter to violence. At a late night, card games surrounded by friends and drinks. Tommy tells a story, loud, animated, the life of the party. Everyone laughs, especially Henry, who throws out a casual, "You're funny." The room goes silent. Tommy turns cold. "Funny how? Funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you." Henry tries to laugh it off, but everyone's holding their breath. It's a joke, but also a warning. Tommy is untouchable and dangerous. That night sets the tone. Violence isn't a threat anymore. It's a regular part of their lives. One night, Tommy brutally beats a young waiter named Spider for talking back. Days later, when Spider returns with a limp, trying to prove he's tough, Tommy shoots him dead for no real reason. Jimmy and Henry are horrified, but they laugh it off. That's what they do now. Laugh off murder. Then comes a bigger problem. Billy Batts, a made man in the Gambino family, gets out of prison and joins them for a drink. He mocks Tommy, reminding him of his past as a shoeshine boy. Tommy, humiliated, holds it in for a while. But later that night, with Jimmy's help, he kills Billy in cold blood. They beat him, stab him, shoot him, wrap him in a sheet. Then they toss his body in the trunk and drive off. The next day, they realize they need to move the body again. It's buried under someone's mother's property. Tommy jokes, his hands still red. His mother even makes them dinner. That's the life. Murder, then meatballs. But killing a made man without permission is suicide. It breaks the one rule you never break. Paulie is furious. Jimmy is tense. Henry begins to feel the walls closing in. They've crossed a line they can't uncross. And now they're not just living the life, they're trying to survive it. Henry Hill is making more money than ever, but it's not through hijackings or loan sharking, it's through drugs. Despite Paulie's strict orders, Henry sets up his own operation on the side, smuggling cocaine and heroin with help from his old prison contacts and his babysitter turned drug mule. He uses Karen to help stash and move the product. She's nervous, but loyal. She's in too deep to stop now. The cash is flowing. But so is the paranoia. Henry is snorting his own product. He's constantly high, jittery, and distracted. He's juggling drug deals, family life, mistresses, and mafia obligations, all while looking over his shoulder. The Lufthansa heist, pulled off by Jimmy's crew, becomes legendary. Over $6 million stolen from JFK Airport in one of the biggest robberies in US history. But with the money comes greed. Jimmy Conway starts killing off everyone involved. First, the guys who can be traced. Then anyone who bought something flashy, a pink Cadillac, a fur coat, anything that might attract police attention. One by one, they're found dead in dumpsters, cars, and meat trucks. Henry watches it happen. He knows Jimmy is cleaning house, and he knows he might be next. To make things worse, Tommy is finally about to be made. It's supposed to be a huge honor, one that gives protection and status. Jimmy and Henry are proud, until Tommy walks into a room and is shot in the head. It's revenge. Billy Batts' murder finally caught up to him. The Gambino family never forgot. Jimmy is shattered. Henry is stunned. The violence isn't strategic anymore. It's emotional, reactionary. Everyone is turning on each other. No one is safe. Then comes the day it all unravels. Henry, high and sweating, runs errands across town, delivering guns, cooking sauce, watching helicopters. He feels like he's being followed. He is. The FBI raids his home. Karen panics. The drugs are flushed. The money is gone. The safety is gone. Paulie refuses to help. Jimmy distances himself. Henry is alone. And for the first time in his life, the wise guy who had it all is faced with a decision no gangster ever wants to make. Flip. Or fall. Everything is collapsing. Henry Hill, once untouchable, is now hunted. By the FBI, by his former friends, and by the life he once worshipped. The drug charges are serious. If convicted, he faces decades in prison. Worse, Jimmy Conway is circling. Him like a hawk, pretending to care, offering help. But Henry can see the look in his eyes. Jimmy wants him gone. One less loose end. Karen confirms it. When Jimmy tells her to pick up some dresses in a dark alley, she senses it's a setup. She runs, breathless, shaking. They both know the truth now. They're dead if they stay loyal. But walking away means breaking the code. The one Henry grew up with. Never rat, never tell. He wrestles with it. The honor, the legacy, the fear. But in the end, the truth is simple. There's no honor among thieves when everyone's trying to kill you. He accepts the deal. Henry Hill flips. He gives the FBI everything. Names, dates, crimes, murders, drug routes, payoffs, the Lufthansa heist, even Paulie. The people he once toasted with, bled with, killed for. He betrays them all. He testifies in court, sitting just feet from Jimmy and Paulie, their eyes cold, burning with betrayal. He tells the stories. He lays it all out. Decades of secrets, gone in a few weeks. And just like that, the empire falls. Paulie goes to prison. Jimmy's locked up. The crew is shattered. The mafia world, the one that raised him, praised him, protected him, is now turned against him. Henry enters the witness protection program. New name, new home, new life. But nothing feels real. No more late nights. No more restaurants with reserved tables. No more envelopes of cash. No more respect. Just suburbs, frozen food, anonymity. I'm an average nobody, Henry says. I get to live the rest of my life like a schnook. The dream is over. The suits are gone. The power is gone. The family is fractured. And the boy who once looked out the window dreaming of being a gangster is now looking out a peephole, waiting for someone to finish the story. Henry Hill used to live like a king. Now he lives like a ghost. Tucked away in the witness protection program, Henry has a new name, a new face in the mirror, and a life that's safe, but painfully ordinary. No more envelopes full of cash. No, more red carpet entrances. No more power. He's traded the chaos of wise guy glory for the quiet despair of suburban exile. He shops at the supermarket like everyone else. He waits in line. He eats frozen dinners. And worst of all, nobody knows his name. For a man raised on reputation, status, and fear, this is worse than prison. It's invisibility. Karen, too, is hollowed out. She misses the thrill, the diamonds, the danger. Their marriage, once bonded by blood and adrenaline, is now strained, quiet, and slipping away. The kids are growing up in a world that's safe, but not theirs. Henry tries to adjust. He tells his story to the FBI. He cooperates with books, articles, interviews. The legend of his past becomes entertainment, but it also becomes a burden. A life once envied is now reduced to words on a page and whispers in diners. He's a rat, a traitor, man who broke the one rule that mattered most, and he knows it. He watches the world change from the sidelines. The old mafia code is dying. The families are weaker. The streets are different. His generation of gangsters is disappearing, locked up, killed off, or lost in time. Sometimes, Henry dreams of the old days, of walking into the Copa, of laughing with Jimmy, of Tommy firing off insults and bullets in equal measure. He misses the danger, the rush, the power, but he also remembers the paranoia, the fear, the bodies, the blood. In the end, Henry's not proud. He's not angry. He's just disconnected, trapped between the legend he once was and the nobody he's become. It was all I ever wanted, he says, and I still love it. But that life is gone. And now, he's just another face in the crowd. For Henry Hill, the story is over. But the memories never fade. He wakes up each day in a quiet neighborhood, in a house that looks like every other house. No more custom suits. No more police on the payroll. No more my guy for everything. The world he once ruled now barely remembers him. But Henry remembers everything. Every car ride. Every envelope of cash. every laugh over drinks before someone was taken care of. He thinks about Tommy, wild and violent, killed before he could be made. He thinks about Jimmy, locked in prison, left with nothing but time and anger. He thinks about Paulie, betrayed and broken by the kid he once protected. He thinks about Karen, and how even love couldn't survive the life they chose. And most of all, he thinks about himself, the teenager who once shined shoes and parked Cadillacs for wise guys. The man who rose through the ranks, trusted, feared, admired, the gangster who had it all and lost it. In the end, Henry didn't go down in a blaze of glory. He didn't die young or go to prison for life. He simply vanished into a new name, a new home, a new identity. That's not how the legends end, but it's how his did. And maybe that's worse, because now he lives in the shadow of what used to be. He watches movies about the life. He reads headlines about mob arrests. He sees others trying to live the story he already closed. They'll either end up dead or in a cell. Henry already knows that. He misses the life, but he doesn't want to go back. He can't go back. In his final reflection, he stands on his porch, taking in the dull world he now calls home. No one knows who he is. No one cares. He turns to the camera and says, "I'm an average nobody. I get to live the rest of my life like a schnook." And with that, the screen cuts to black. The dream is dead. The wise guy is gone. And the legend of the Goodfellas becomes a memory.